So now for our review of John Wick Chapter 2. So where we left off, John has gotten his revenge on not only Yosef, but Vigo as well. And he's got himself a new doggy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's got a pit bull.
Yes.
That he stole out of the shelter.
Yeah. So the movie starts off, and we get Peter Stormare, who is the brother, Vigo's brother from the first movie.
Oh, yeah, also full spoilers again.
Yeah. We get another action scene where he's getting his car back.
The dude at the beginning, it's Vigo's brother.
Yeah. And he's trying to get the car back. And he does get it back, and it's a great scene.
I love how he just completely fucks up the car in the process.
Trying to get away.
It's the principle.
Yeah, it's like, it's my car,
It's my car, yeah.
I don't care what shape it's in. I gotta get it back. And
you know what I thought that was cool is that was a great callback in a weird way to the letter from the wife. Because she says, it's time to move on and learn to love. A car doesn't count.
Yeah.
So he's like...
He almost hasn't learned his lesson yet.
Well, but he kind of did in that he's like, fuck it, I'll damage it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do that with a
nice
good
compromise.
Doggy. Yeah. It's like, meet her in the middle.
Yeah. So that all goes on. It's a great action scene. And I remember when I saw this for the first time, and even seeing it again, I was a little bit worried because, and this does become an issue, but believe me, it doesn't affect the movie as much as you think it is.
How dare you? There's no issues with this film. You disgust me. You're not allowed to disagree with me.
I know.
It's a fact. It's a fact that you're wrong.
It's empirical.
Yeah.
It's proven.
Yeah, it's if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. Anyway.
But no,
go on.
So the inciting incident of this is he's approached by a mafia Camorra lord Santino d'Antonio.
Santino, yeah.
And he's just like, hey, I need you to kill somebody for me.
Oh,
and it's like, okay. He says no, and they blow up his house. And I'm like, if I'm giving points out, John Wick 1's inciting incident is so much better. But where it leads us in this is a lot more. Man,
it's like Home Alone. What are they going to do? Kill his dog again?
Oh, man.
This isn't where, Kevin, we left him again.
Mm-hmm.
You got to change it up a little.
Yeah. See, if I was going, well, I guess in terms of like shit getting
I didn't mind
bad,
it because shit was exploding.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
So, if you're going to do a plot hole or rather a story type inconsistency, if you're going to do it by blowing shit up, well, you fooled me.
Yeah, and believe me, it pays off in that it takes us to a place that is as satisfying as John Wick 1, if not more so. He has to go and assassinate his sister.
Right.
Santino's sister. And we go to, where's that happen? Venice or Rome? Happens in Rome.
Yeah, it happens in Rome, and the whole sequence in Italy is my favorite part of the movie, and it's amazing.
Greens and blues and just crazy imagery and ooh, it's nuts.
That weird ass concert with the weird half DJ opera music. Yeah. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, man, it's wacky, but so he goes there to do that. It doesn't happen. He doesn't kill her.
Well, she kills herself, and then, he puts her out of her misery.
Yeah, and lo and behold, Common, who is her bodyguard, obviously thinks that he killed her, but and basically what happens is thus begins a giant international adventure for John Wick, where he's on the run from all these people, and he's got to track down Santino and clear his name / get compensation for what he's done.
Here's one thing, I guess I might be an idiot about this. So he does the thing where Santino wants to kill his sister so he can get a seat at the high table.
Yes.
Again, we're building this world, and just like the first one, they do a really good job with subtext and stuff that's just kind of unexplained but sort of mentioned. They don't over-explain. Mm-hmm. Again, they do a very good job of bringing new information into the fold, but keeping it kind of close to the vest.
Right.
But anyway, so he wants to kill her to get a seat at the high table. Mm-hmm. So then he puts out a contract on John Wick to what end?
Just to kill him.
Well, I mean, the reasoning...
To cover for the fact that he killed his sister.
Right.
So he's like, John Wick killed my sister.
Okay.
So it's like, fuck
I'm
you.
An idiot.
You betrayed me.
That's kind of what I thought. But I also thought, why would John Wick be a suspect? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you have Common there corroborating it, and
all right, fuck it. Okay,
also
so he has to do it.
The trail of like how many people were killed in the fallout from the Rome scene. Like, there's at least 15 people that died.
Oh, you mean
those catacombs?
The catacomb scene is great.
He's got shotgun at the ready.
He runs the gauntlet quite literally.
God damn it! It's so good. And that's the other thing is the action is like, the action in one was good. I want to see how they can ramp it up a bit. Oh, man.
It's like, well, how many different guns and knives and cars and hand strikes and punches and kicks and weird jujitsu holds / it looks like they're using a lot of the sistema and a little bit of sambo type throws.
Yeah.
I saw him legit do some straight up judo throw with the collars and all that, or the sleeve, like grabbing the sleeve throw because they're all wearing suits and stuff.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the martial arts choreography in both of these movies.
We got to give it up for the best set piece. I even struggle to call it a set piece because it's like 10 set pieces tied together.
Yeah.
The scene where the sequence where he's running through New York and he's just narrowly avoiding all these assassins.
Yeah.
Like the Common scene with the silencers and the knife fight.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The silencer thing, because I just enjoy this movie too much.
You're like, sure.
Yeah.
You know what? Fine.
Fuck it.
Because this is just too fun.
And I'll forgive the fact that maybe one of them should have gone for the head.
Yeah.
As Thanos might say. Mm-hmm. But fuck it, I'll let it go.
We get to see him kill with the pencil.
Yeah.
2 dudes with a pencil.
It's great the way they foreshadow shit.
It's crazy. That whole scene where he's just like narrowly avoiding assassins whilst like trying to get from one part of town to the other.
And
the ammo count. That was the other thing that killed me is like the screenwriter's like, oh, he's out of ammo, and he's like got to like jerry rig like the what do you call it? There's like a part where his gun runs out of bullets, and it's like, oh fuck. So he's got to like grab ammunition from one of the other guns.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love shit like that because in movies, all the time it's like,
just endless ammo in one clip.
Sometimes for the better.
I've got a 16-round gun, and I just like 5 minutes later.
Sometimes
come
it's
back
for the
later.
better. Sometimes it's a good thing. See any like pre-2000 John Woo movie, but like other times it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, it gets a little ridiculous. But that's what I'm saying is this movie. Like the first one, it does such a good job of adding elements of realism
whilst keeping that heightened feel.
Yeah, while keeping the heightened feel.
It's like a comic book, but real life-ish.
Yeah, exactly.
With real life mechanics.
That's the other thing is this one, as sequels should, does up the ante in terms of the outlandishness and the continuing world building. Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean there's Continentals everywhere?
Yeah,
there's one in Italy?
In Italy.
There's all these different, types of assassins. You got the sumo guy.
Oh my God, that's a great
got all
scene.
that stuff. And that's one thing about 2 in general, I felt like more of this movie was hitting its stride because I do like the emotional arc in 1 with John Wick about the whole redemption thing and this and that. This one felt much more action movie-like in the way that his emotions and all that shit are still there, but it's not quite as heavy. Because the one thing I would imagine about selling 1 as a screenplay, he kills the dog in the first 10 pages, pages of this movie. What, you think you're gonna sell this? Are you crazy? Mm-hmm. I feel like this is an easier sell if that means anything.
His goals are a lot more complicated this time.
That's the other thing. Mm-hmm. So he wants once again to leave this life, and the same themes come up, but even stronger. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna come back just for this little bit to kill Yosef and this and that in the first one. All right, now I'm done. But it's just not that simple. And as I keep saying with the continuous world building, it's even more complicated. Oh, I told you I'm out. Oh, but I have this trinket here, the blood oath, whatever the hell, the pendant. Mm-hmm. This you can't say no to. Well, shit. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say no, but you're going to blow up my house. Now I really got nothing. Luckily, the doggy survives this time.
Yes, thank God.
And he's a good boy. He chills at the hotel.
Yeah.
With Lance Reddick.
This is the the Dark Knight or the Empire Strikes Back of the John Wick trilogy.
Right.
For many reasons. Not just in terms of upping the ante, not just in terms of furthering the plot, but also in terms of outcome, I'd say as well.
Well, that's the other thing. Talk about, as I was saying in our review of 1, consequences of your actions. Oh boy, is that a big thing here.
Especially at the end.
Especially right at the end. But even still, it's like the whole idea that he's back again after... Like, how much more could this guy lose? That's the one thing I'm thinking when he's, like, sitting in the wreckage of his house. God, nothing goes right for this guy. Other than he's alive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the cinematography this time around, I think it was even better.
The colors are just way more vibrant and varied. Not to say that they weren't the other time, but there's just, oh, man, a lot of neon and...
right.
It's just great. Looks great.
Specifically some neon in the end scene.
Yeah.
There's an homage to the greatest film of all time, Enter the Dragon.
Mirrors and such.
With the House of Mirrors. And I thought you guys learned your lesson. Not that the ending of 1 was horrible, but you have to make your best scene the last. To me, that's how it should be, generally speaking.
Right.
Or your most extravagant scene. That was without a doubt the visually most interesting scene.
Oh, yeah.
And then talk about the whole mixing themes with your story. The what the hell you call it? The exhibit announcer. Welcome to the mirror of the soul.
Yeah.
It's like now John Wick's gotta really dig deep and think, what the fuck am I doing here? He's having an existential crisis while he has to survive being shot at.
Yeah, he's got to question his code. He's got to question his morality, and it all ends with a really big scene where he has to essentially question everything he started this journey for.
Right.
And he fucking blows away Santino in the middle of the Continental, that's the first commandment of the Continental.
From the first movie, we'd been told, there's this crazy world, this Continental Hotel, but there are rules.
You can't kill here. We've seen the consequences of this. We saw Miss Perkins, played by Adrian Palicki, get killed over killing that really nice guy. I can't think of his name. Harry, that's his name.
And trying to kill John Wick.
Because
that was the thing. It was they made the call to her. Oh, I'll double it if you break the Continental rules. She figures, fuck it, and fails, and of course she pays the price. So that same thing occurs here, but in a much worse way because it's in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And even with John Wick's reputation, the best, what's his name, Ian McShane?
Yeah, Ian McShane, Winston.
Winston. The best Winston can do is give him an hour.
Before he's excommunicado.
That's right, excommunicado. And let's not forget one of the MVPs of this movie. Mr. Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, he's great, man. He's the Bowery King?
Well, so you get the idea that he's sort of an outsider of this assassin guild, whatever the hell you want to call it. But he kind of has his break-off faction.
Yeah, he's like the king of all the homeless or whatever.
Right.
Kind of reminds me of like remember the orphans from the Warriors?
Yeah.
The like orphans gang where they're just like homeless people or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that.
Well, that's the other thing, again, with the world expanding, element. So there's this idea that, well, within this world of assassins, there's also these little breakaway worlds and, separate groups within these, it's secret groups within secret groups,
These sects.
Right. So I enjoyed that aspect, and I really liked his performance. Every line Lawrence Fishburne said was said with such conviction. I'm believing every word of this role, regardless of the fact that like he's saying some crazy shit, but I'm believing it.
Oh yeah,
all the way. Let's see what else we got. Subtext is there. You get the idea that there's some stuff that we're just not going to know everything about. Oh, the Kimura and the this and the that. And, there's some other stuff about the blood oaths. There's even the idea, Santino, the whole thing. It's a callback to 1 where he's talking about
the impossible task.
Yeah, the impossible task where it's like...
He helped him out.
Vigo says the thing about the bodies he buried built the foundation for what we do. Mm-hmm. So now we're learning Santino has a history with this John Wick fella.
Yeah, John Wick kind of owes him, Santino thinks.
And he thinks, but he also kind of has some leverage with the pendant, with the blood oath. But of course, he doesn't really owe him anymore, since Santino is now dead.
And now it's gotten John in a whole new world of pain and revenge, or not revenge, of hardship.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing. I guess the answer to the question for 1 and 2, can you escape this past of, or rather, can John Wick escape this past of his? And it doesn't really seem like he can.
Hence my Dark Knight and Empire Strikes Back comparisons.
Right, and that's the other thing is the cliffhanger's a great ending.
Oh, it's great. All the cell phones are going off. You're like, oh shit, the whole world
knows. The angel of death is,
knocking at John Wick's door, the door of his blown up house.
That's right. That's the other thing. There's a lot of religious imagery in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's just, a lot of statues and shit. And there's a lot of shots that were framed specifically for him to be standing below, statues and stuff. I just thought that was kind of interesting because that goes back to the redemption thing. And he's got the tat,
Oh, yeah.
What the hell does it say?
Something in Latin, I thought, right?
Yeah, it's something in Latin, and it's got the cross with the hands together to pray.
Yeah. And obviously, the movie takes place in Rome. A lot of the stuff with, I can't think of her name, the sister.
Doesn't the one guy, the dude at the Continental, yes, I gotta know, you're not here for the Pope, are you?
Yeah. There's a lot of tie-ins to that sort of like the idea of guilt is a very Catholic thing.
Right.
So, and John Wick's got a lot of demons to deal with and a lot of guilt to reconcile with. And that's what this movie... Unfortunately, the movie doesn't end well in John Wick's favor. He kind of just leaves with even more baggage now.
That's the weird thing is, you had I would say, a more fun movie in terms of tone in this first one. Because the themes were there, but they were a little heavier in one.
Yeah.
But then they bring them crashing all right back at the end, which I thought was kind of interesting. Also, Ruby Rose is pretty solid as the mute
Ares.
Yeah, is that what she's called?
Yeah, I liked her.
Yeah, I like that character. It's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. This is an
I love when he's sign languaging. She says, "I'll see you soon." He says, "Not if I see you first."
Yeah. God, it's good.
Yeah.
I would say this overall is an improvement over John Wick 1. Though I know I won't be giving it as high a score as you, because I'm
factually incorrect.
Yes, I do. I love the movie, and I still stand by my score of 8.5 out of 10.
That's crazy talk, because to me this was possibly the best movie of that year. Mm-hmm. What was it, 2017?
Yeah.
What else it doesn't fucking matter. This was up there.
I'm just giving room for John Wick 3. That's all. I wanted to pull a Jason Bourne, in my opinion, where each movie gets better. All
right. I mean, it could. But point is, this was a solid movie, and I love the cliffhanger ending. I thought the action was definitely an improvement.
Oh, yeah.
Even though the first one is jaw-dropping enough, this one somehow found a way to outdo its predecessor. Mm-hmm. Then on top of that, the ending, as I said, the final act was really something special, especially with the whole Hall of the Mirrors, whatever the hell, Reflection of the Soul exhibit. Yeah. Loved it. And now part of that bias is because it reminds me of the greatest film of all time.
Right.
As I said, Enter the Dragon. So to me, this is a perfect score if I've ever seen one. Mm-hmm. With like tiny nitpicks, fuck it. I'll let them go. Mm-hmm. The tiny nitpicks.
Right.
So that's perfect score for me.
Alrighty.
All right, so that'll do it for our review or rather a rewatching, or
from the Vault Review.
Yeah, the thing where we watch a movie we've already seen again to see if we still think we like it or if it sucks or not. We thought it was good. The end. So that'll do it for our review of The Bored Doggy at the Hotel. No, seriously, he just left him there. Okay, he didn't like leave him there, like he's there with him at the end, but he left him at the hotel for a majority of the film. The movie.